So the gym where I do jujitsu got canceled or is closing for the time being. So I decided to go walk around my neighborhood for like 30 minutes or so. And I think people are actually starting to take the whole social distancing idea seriously right now. I mean, I walked by a few restaurants. And most of them there's just like one table with people at it, and the rest is completely empty. So for one, yeah, obviously people are starting to take this seriously, and they're not actually doing anything, not really leaving their house unless they need to. And I think another thing that is, I don't know what we're going to do about is the amount of people in the service industry that aren't getting paid right now. They're not making tips or anything like that. So I know Mitt Romney proposed this idea that everyone should get $1,000, which is pretty ridiculous because a lot of people don't need $1,000, but there are a lot of people that do. So I don't know what we're going to do, but somehow these people have got to make money. They have rent to pay. Not a lot of people in the service industry have a ton of money saved up, I'm assuming, or not a lot of Americans in general do. So, who knows what's going to happen with that? I don't think I'm going to post this one on YouTube. I think I'm just going to keep it for personal records just because I don't know, feeling a little bit off, I guess. Um, yeah, and another thing was the NBA players getting the tests, which I think it was about the amount of people that have been tested in the entire United States. 1% of those people have, or almost one, I think it was like 0.8% of those people were just NBA players that somehow got this test through, which is pretty fucking ridiculous when you think about how much social clout or how much value we place on these people just because they play basketball. I mean, literally in a global crisis, they're the people that we're just like, oh fuck, this person plays basketball, he plays sports. Let's just move everything aside and make sure they get the test kits. So, yeah, I mean, I guess it just shows how much we value those people. I mean, it wasn't like everyone voted to have these test kits made for them, but I don't really think it's something that a lot of people are focusing on or a lot of people are caring about. I mean, obviously there's a lot of other issues they're dealing with in their personal life, so that's not really one of their main concerns, but I don't think it's usually if some people really cared, they'd be sharing it on social media. It'd be all over the place. There's an article in the Daily Beast about it, but it wasn't. I don't think it's extremely widespread. But another article I read was on how realistic it would be that we're actually flattening the curve right now, which is just the idea that we're delaying the amount of people that are sent to hospitals or the older people that actually need really intensive care. Or basically, the idea is that obviously the same amount of people might get infected, but we're just spreading that over a longer time period. So instead of everyone getting infected in 2 months, maybe they get infected over 6 months. So then the hospital system, all of the medical system is able to take care of them over that longer period of time just because they can't handle that large of an influx right now. But I don't have specifics from the article or anything, but it was pretty alarming that it made a pretty convincing case that we're not going to really be able to flatten the curve enough to where the hospital system, the medical system can take care of all these people. So I think we're going to find there's a few ethical dilemmas going on, right? Or in the future, we might have some. I think we're probably going to have some of these. And that's going to be, let's say an 100-year-old comes in who's already barely alive and already has a lot of underlying medical conditions comes in versus maybe like a 60-year-old comes in and maybe they're a smoker, they're a little obese, and they're sort of in that bracket of people that really need that type of intensive medical attention, but they have a better chance of surviving. And I think we're going to need to decide of those two people who's going to actually get the medical care that they're probably going to need or that there's a good chance they might need to survive. And we're going to have to make some tough decisions on that. I think I've heard that's what's going on in Italy right now. I'm not really sure, but yeah, I mean, there's just going to be a lot of tough decisions. I'm obviously glad that I don't have to make those. It's going to be really difficult for us to do that. But yeah, for right now, I mean, this is just the beginning of social distancing that we're seeing, or that it's actually hit my area. And yeah, we'll see. I'll make another video tomorrow, just giving another update.